What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links datamine video, and in today's datamine video, I'm going to be talking about all of Leo's cards that we're going to be able to farm for once Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's World comes out. We have a whole selection of Morphtronic cards, which is going to be super cool to talk about. I haven't, read every single one of these cards yet, so it's going to be a new experience for me and also you. I'll try my best, though, to give some, little combo ideas, possibly, with the Morphtronics when I'm talking about them, but this is, my first time basically checking them out, so I'm super excited about that. And if you guys are also excited for today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links datamine video, as always, hit that like button down below. Let's see if we can get to at least 100 likes. That'd be super cool. And then also, if you guys are new, hit that subscribe button down below so you get notified when I make more datamine videos, because I have few more datamine videos in plan and in mind to make. I gotta do one on Crow's farmable cards, and I gotta do one on Luna's farmable cards. So seriously, if you want to get notified when I make those videos, hit that subscribe button down below and notifications on so you can get notified when I make that video. But of course, you can always watch the video before you like, subscribe, and all that stuff right there. Also, I already made videos on Yusei and Akiza, so if you haven't checked that out already, I'll put them on the top right of the screen. You guys can go check that out after you're done with this video. But yeah, without further ado, let's go talk about these leaks. So first of all, I'm going to just plug my Discord and give a shout out to Yazin. As always, thank you so much for datamining this content. I'm super thank you so much, man. I don't know how to really say it, but thank you for just being the data miner of the community and getting us this content out so we can get notified on what cool events and everything like that we're going to be getting in Duel Links. And as you guys can see, Yusei, Crow, Akiza, we're going to be talking about Leo's cards right here, and we also have Luna's cards right here. So there's going to be a ton of cards to talk about in the future, and that's why I'm telling you guys to subscribe. But yeah, you can always subscribe so you actually watch the video, of course. But yeah, huge shout out to Yazin for data mining all this content. Right now, we're going to be talking about Leo's cards right here. So let's go talk about them real quick. We have the background, we have Leo and his power tool dragon, super cool right there. Now let's do this. So first of all, the first thing that I want to show you guys is that basically this little page right here is the rewards for Leo. Basically right now all it is just blank. It's just completely blank right now because we don't have the card artwork for these brand new cards that we're going to be getting once 5D's World gets released in this list right here. But this kind of gives us a little bit more proof that these cards are Leo has a plan to be into the game. He is planning to have these cards, and then this is his little reward list, because you guys probably should already know, basically this is the list that you can see once you want to check what farmable cards you can farm for before you actually duel these 5D's characters at the gate. So that's something really interesting right there. So super cool right there. And now let's actually talk about the cards. If you guys want to skip to any other card though in this list, you can go to the description or the comment section down below. I have timestamps for every single one of these cards that I'm going to be talking about. So if you want to skip to any of the cards that you don't want me to talk about, feel free to do that. But without further ado, let's go do some first impressions, I guess, review in a sense on these cards and just give me my thoughts and feedback on it. And yeah, so first of all, Leo is a user of these Morphtronics. These Morphtronics are like machine monsters that are kind of interesting. They kind of relate to equip spells and other things like that, and you'll kind of see how they kind of operate, hopefully, when we talk about all these farm cards. But first of all, we have the Morphtronic Videon. This is a light 4-star machine with the effect. While in attack position, this card gains 800 attack for each equipped card equipped to it. While in defense position, this card gains 200 attack, or 200 defense for each equipped card equipped to it. This has an attack of 1,000 and a defense of 1,000. So at max, with this card's effect alone, you'll be gaining 2,400 attack if you equip 3 spell cards to this monster, which is alright. I mean, if you do pull off 3 different equipped cards, you're going to get this guy to 3,400, which isn't horrible, but the only issue is you're not going to have any back row to protect you, so probably not the best idea right there, but still, it's a kind of cool idea. Maybe if you guys have any copies of Axe of Despair, you can combo it with this Morphtronic card right here. Give it 800 attack, easy peasy like that, or it gets 800 attack from its effect and 1,000 attack with the effect of Axe of Despair. So that wouldn't be that bad of an idea. Maybe get this guy to 2800 just in a snap right there, which would be pretty cool. There's also, I believe with Yusei's list of cards, there's also a card that he had. I won't show it up on the screen, but one of his cards was Fighting Spirit, where you can equip it to one of your monsters, and your monster would be able to be not destroyed once by battle, and it gains attack equal to the amount of monsters your opponent controls. So, maybe comboing Fighting Spirit might be alright with this card, because, you equip the equip card of this Morphtronic, it gains 800 attack, and then Fighting Spirit's effect allows it to get protected by backup or Fighting Spirit makes your monsters get protected for 1 turn. Essentially, like, your opponent attacks into your monster. If your monster doesn't, or if your monster was about to die, you can just sacrifice Fighting Spirit instead. Made that way too long to talk about, but my commentary is just going to be all over the place for today's video. But yeah, Morphtronic Videon, nothing too special to talk about. Most likely with Leo and his level up rewards that we haven't got leaked just yet, but hopefully with Leo's level up rewards, we'll get some really good equip spells for Morphtronics, and maybe this card will be really good because you'll get some awesome benefits with using equip spells, and you'll be able to get this guy to gain some attack if you have equip spells on there. And also, Leo does have a ton of just different skills for equip spells, and I made a video on that, so if you want to check that out, it'll also appear on the top right of your screen. Yeah, Leo has some really cool equip spells that are skills that you can use to combo with your monsters. So super cool right there. This card might be actually pretty useful in the future and everything like that. Next up, though, we're going to be talking about the Morphtronic Camera guy, and I actually kind of like the artwork of this card. It's actually kind of cool. Anyways, this is a 2-star light machine with the effect. While on attack position, when this card is destroyed by battle, you can special summon a level 4 or lower Morphtronic monster from your hand or graveyard except this cameraman. So I think this is actually not too bad because this basically with synchro summoning, it's really nice to have these effects where if your monster dies, you can just special summon another one. So then on your follow-up turn, you can hopefully go for a synchro summon, so I like that too. While in defense position, Morphtronic monsters on the field cannot be targeted by effects. Not too bad right there. So while this card is in defense position, so your opponent and it has to be face up defense position, by the way, but your Morphtronic monsters on the field cannot be targeted with effects. Not that bad, but the issue is that the attack and defense of this card is lacking because it only has an attack of 800 and a defense of 600, so utilizing these effects at its maximum potential isn't that good. But hopefully with some equip cards, you can equip the Cameraman to hopefully give it a boost in attack, so it'll be harder for your opponent to destroy, and then if your opponent does destroy your Morphtronic Cameraman, you'll be fine, simply because of the fact that with the equip spell, you're hopefully going to make this card gain attack, so you won't take that much damage. But overall, it's kind of like a meh card in my opinion, nothing too crazy. But it is kind of cool as a special summon effect. The sad part is the special summon effect that only can be in attack position, and it has a very lacking attack of 800. And defense position, while your Morphtronics can't get targeted by effects, it's nice, but the issue is that it has to be in defense position, and its defense is also lacking. So I'm not too sure how I feel about this card, but it's going to be pretty cool right there. And I actually need to follow up with something like that. Okay, so Morphtronic Videon only gives attack to itself, not the other Morphtronics. That would be really good if it gave it to other Morphtronics. Next up, though, we're going to be talking about a Morphtronic equip spell. This is Morphtronic Repair Unit, and this is an equip spell card. Send one Morphtronic monster from your hand to the graveyard and select a Morphtronic monster in your graveyard. Special summon the selected monster equipped with this card. That's actually a really good effect right there. So if you have a really strong Morphtronic in your graveyard, you can use the repair unit to sack off one of your like weak Morphtronics to special summon one of your stronger Morphtronics from your graveyard. That's actually a pretty cool effect right there. Next up too, the equipped monster cannot change battle position when this card is removed from the field. Destroy the equipped monster. That's where the lose of benefit is. So once you summon your Morphtronic monster from the graveyard, you can't switch it to attack to defense, which does suck. And if your opponent, I don't know the exact ruling, but I believe if your opponent is able to switch your monster, you can't switch it back to whatever position. So I think, for example, you summon a Morphtronic monster with repair unit and attack position, I think your opponent might be able to play stuff like Econ, switch it to defense position, and then you can't switch it back to attack position, but I don't know if that's the case. I mean, it can't change its battle position, so I think that I hope that the fact that it says the equipped monster cannot change its battle position means that you or cards or effects can't switch it. I hope that's the case. If so, then it should make the, your Morphtronic immune to stuff like Floodgate, Canadia, Econ. Hopefully that's the case. If so, that's actually a good benefit. If not, then that's a very bad benefit. That's not a benefit at all. But sadly, if this card gets destroyed, the equipped monster gets destroyed, and that sucks. But overall, not that bad of a card. You can easily see that as a UR, or not a UR, an SR for Leo that we're going to be able to farm for. So pretty cool right there. Next up, we have Morphtronic Map. This is a field spell card. Each time a monster's battle position is changed, change one morph monster, or place one morph counter on this card. All Morphtronic monsters gain 300 attack for each morph counter on this card. When this card is destroyed and sent from the field of graveyard, especially when a Morphtronic monster from a graveyard. Really cool right here. I actually really like how most of the spell cards so far that we've been taking a look at, all the Morphtronic spell cards have been able to bring back Morphtronics from your graveyard. So possibly you, if you play stuff like Galaxy Cyclone, if you need to, like, use with Galaxy Cyclone, what's super cool about it is that you play Galaxy Cyclone, destroy one of your opponent's face down spell or trap cards. Then on the follow-up turn, on your like next turn, you can actually use Galaxy Cyclone and destroy any face-up spell or trap card on the field. So possibly a little combo that you can do right there is that if you need to get a Morphtronic from your graveyard onto the board, you can pop your own Morphtronic map with something like Galaxy Cyclone or Double Cyclone. Pop the map and special summon one of your Morphtronic monsters, which would be really cool right there. Actually, kind of like that, just that effect and everything like that. Also, the fact that your Morphtronics can gain 300 attack for each morph counter is very cool right there. If you keep switching the battle positions of your morph counter, of your Morphtronics, everything like that. And I believe Morphtronics, I don't know the ones that we're going to talk about in this video do the change battle positions, but I believe there's actually a good amount of Morphtronics that do switch battles positions around, which would be really useful because, you know, one of the earlier cards that we talked about, the Cameraman, which I could pop up real quick for you guys. You know, if Morphtronics, if we get some Morphtronics that can switch the battle positions around, summoning Cameraman at attack position using one of your other Morphtronics to switch into defense position would be really nice. So then your Morphtronics cannot be targeted by effects. So combos right there, pretty nice. And I'm guessing that this is what the this map card is basically alluding to, that Morphtronics have a lot of effects that can switch your battle positions around and they gain attack for that. So pretty cool right there. I honestly do like this field spell. It is not that bad. Pretty cool right there. Hopefully we can get a skill though with Leo that automatically starts off the board with Morphtronic back. Considering that they're giving it to us as a farmable card, I kind of doubt that. Next up though, we're going to be talking about these Morphtronic Mix-Up. This is a trap card. If you control 2 or more face of Morphtronic monsters, select 2 card opponent controls. Draw 1 card of your opponent's choice from those 2. Okay, so I can see this as being a rare card simply because the setup you need to have 2 face of Morphtronics. Hopefully you can spam them out, so that'd be good. But the thing is right here is that it does say that your opponent gets to choose one of the cards that they have. So what kind of sucks about that is that while they will lose a card, and them losing cards is going to be great. That's why you're playing this card in the first place. At the same time, I don't feel like this card would be that good because since your opponent does choose what card they want to destroy, it kind of makes it that situation where it's like Treacherous Trap Hole is a much better option compared to this one, because with Treacherous Trap Hole, all you need is your opponent to have 2 monsters or just you have a monster. With Treacherous Trap Hole, as long as there's 2 monsters on the board, you can activate the card and blow them both up. With this one, though, you specifically need 2 Morphtronics on your board, and you need your opponent needs to control 2 cards on the board. So it's kind of a meh card. It's like a nerfed version of Treacherous Trap Hole. The only way I can see this card seeing play is if Morphtronics are good and Treacherous Trap Hole gets banned just out of the game. So that'd be the only times I would really see this card seeing any play. But to be honest, there's a lot of better options out there. So alright card, not that good. Not that good at all. Next up, we're going to be talking about this Morphtronic Vacuum card right here. This is a 1-star wind machine with the effect. Sorry for the background noise right now. My dad's doing some construction stuff, so if you hear that, my bad. Anyways, while this card is in attack position, once per turn, you can send an equipped card equipped to this card to the graveyard and inflict 500 damage to your opponent. That's not too bad in Duel Links, at least, because we have a starting life points of 4,000. So honestly, playing that effect might be able to win you a few duels, because 500 attack isn't that bad at all. While in defense position, once per turn, you can equip 1 face-up attack position monster control to this controlled as an equipped card. So that's kind of interesting right here. It's kind of like a Union card in a sense, but not really. So far though, I don't see too much of a benefit of doing this to this card as an equipped card. Oh wait, I read that wrong. This is actually pretty good. While defense position once per turn, you can equip a face-up attack position monster opponent control to discard as a equipped card. I read that wrong. I thought you were using one of your own monsters to equip the Vacuumen. Nah, this is actually pretty cool. So if this card's in defense position and it has to be face-up defense position, you can take one of your monsters and equip it to this card. So if you tribute this card or use it for a synchro summon material, you can send one of your opponent's monsters to the graveyard basically, because this is a 1-star. So for example, like you have a 3-star tuner on the board, this Vacuumen card right here, and then like a 4-star monster on their board, right? This Morphtronic Vacuum card is in defense position. You take one of your opponent's monsters and equip it to this card, and then you go for the synchro summon. You take the 3-tuner 1-star monster Vacuumen right here, and the 4-star monster, go for like Synchro or Stardust Dragon. Then you can send and then since the equipped card to Vacuumen will get sent to the graveyard, you can basically kill one of your monsters out like that. So the fact that this is a 1-star and you can suck up monsters monsters is not, that's actually pretty good right there. I actually really like that a lot, so pretty cool card right there. Next up, though, we're going to be talking about Morphtronic Cord. This is a equip spell card. I almost couldn't say equip. Equip only to a Morphtronic monster. Each time the equip monster in battle position is changed, destroy a spell track card on the field. That is very interesting right here. So there's a lot of effects with these Morphtronic cards that, you know, are saying that if you switch the battle position of these cards, you will gain effects. But so far, we haven't seen any, like, Morphtronic card from Leo's farm list that automatically uses an effect to switch your Morphtronic. So I'm really hoping that Leo's level up cards will make us be able to switch our Morphtronics around if needs be. But still, if that's the case, this card will be pretty good because back row removal is very nice. This deck is a very equip based, so running this as an equip card with one of Leo's skills would be very good. And overall, pretty cool card right there. I don't know how well it will work, but if you can consistently switch your Morphtronic, you know, cards around, this card can be very useful, especially because it doesn't say once per turn. So if you can keep switching the battle positions of your monster, you're going to be popping all of your opponent's back rows. So the fact that it doesn't say once per turn is not that bad. Hopefully you can see this card see some play. Next up, though, we're going to be talking about the Power Up Adapter. After activation, treat this card as an equip card equipped to a face of Morphtronic monster you control. Equipped monster cannot attack, and then select what face of monster of the field except the equipped monster, and it gains attack equal to the equipped monster. So I don't know how I feel about this. Basically, the premise of this is if you have two different Morphtronic monsters on the board, what you would want to do is you play Power Up Adapter, equip it to one of your Morphtronic monsters, and then that equipped Morphtronic monster will give all of its attack to a different monster. So I guess the only benefit of this is that you attack with one of your Morphtronics, then during that attack phase, then you flip up Power Up Adapter, equip it to one of your Morphtronics that just attacked, and then give the some bonus attack to your other Morphtronics. So hopefully you can go for some just OTKs of some sort. But still, this card is meh. I could see it see play, but I think I'd rather use other options. I don't know, but that's just me. Next up, though, we're going to talk about Gadget Hauler. This is a 6-star Earth Machine with the effect. Once per turn, you can send any number of Morphtronic monsters from your hand to the graveyard to have this card gain 800 attack for each. It's a 1300 attack. That is a 6-star, and the worst part is you need the send Morphtronics in order to give attack to this card. The only benefit I can see from that is that you will send one of your high-star Morphtronic cards to the graveyard, and then play one of the other cards that we talked about on this list that can special summon Morphtronics from the graveyard. So that would be kind of good, but other than that, I think this card's very mediocre. The fact that you have to tribute one of your monsters in order to get a monster with only 1300 attack, and you need to give it, and you need to discard cards in order to gain attack is just, I don't like it. I don't like it that much at all. It's kind of a mediocre card. I could easily see that as like a rare or just an end. So there is that right there. And next up, we're going to talk about Morphtronic Magnen Bar. This is a 1-star Earth Thunder with the effect while in attack position once per turn. If you control exactly 2 other face-up attack position monsters and no additional other monsters, this card can gain the comboed attack of 2 other monsters you control to the end phase. 2 other monsters can attack the turn you activate its effect. So that is an interesting effect right here. So while in attack position, we control exactly 2 other attack position monsters on the board, which that would be the only way you would be able to, because we only have 3 monster zones in Duel Links, so automatically easy right there. It gains the comboed attack of the 2 monsters, which is very interesting right there. But sadly, your 2 other monsters can't attack. So I can only see this card probably being used as farm decks. Yeah, this would actually be an alright card for farm decks, thinking about it, because it's a 1-star, has an attack of 100. You can play Secret Pass of the treasures to give this card the attack, or to attack directly. Well, then again, no, actually that won't be good. Never mind. I don't think this card will be used that much. I don't know. Okay, you can't use Secret Pass of the treasures for farming with this card, because I forgot Secret Pass of the treasure only allows you to inflict effect damage and that. So scratch that idea. Probably can't use this as well for farm decks. You could probably still use it for a farm deck, but just now with Secret Pass. Anyways, while this is in defense position, monsters you control cannot attack. Okay. I don't know why that's I actually don't know why that's an effect right there. That's actually kind of ridiculous, but still, that was actually the last card to talk about with Leo in today's video. So I'm going to switch to the full screen face cam and say goodbye to you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links datamine video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button down below and subscribe to the channel. If you guys are new, so you get notified when I make more Yu-Gi-Oh! Content. I don't know, some of Leo's cards are very interesting, and I think I'm kind of looking forward to trying out Morphtronics, but I really hope that some of the level up rewards that we can get from Leo are going to give us some really good Morphtronic cards, and also cards to easily summon Power Tool Dragon, his Synchro Monster. But if you guys, yeah, like I said, if you guys enjoyed, hit the like button down below, subscribe to the channel. What do you guys think about Leo's card? Go to the comment section down below and tell me all of your opinions about that. But I think that's going to do it for me, guys, so thank you so much for watching today's Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links video, and I'll go see you guys in the next one. Peace out.